Welcome back, everybody. We are headed down to the basement, and as you can see, I've changed our outfit because we need to get a lot of poison resistance up. As you will see, the basement is completely flooded, and you can see that we are getting poisoned on the right hand side. Now, I do have a confession to make. I did make a pretty big mistake when I was doing this episode. I did the entire thing with my mic muted, so everything you hear is going to be added in post, which is fine. So here we encounter this whatever the heck it is, and oh boy, he does not take well to melee, and he's also got a buddy. And apparently I panicked and left the room. It's one of those things where when that situation happens, my brain just gets overwhelmed, and I have to get sorted in my head to make sure that I have a plan going in. So we're going to try fireballs, because clearly the sword didn't work out. And that is way more effective. Alright. Now we have this dude on the ceiling, so that's a worshipper. And yeah, I thought it was a ghost. Apparently not, so we're going to try it once. Okay, that's super effective too. And that takes care of that. Now get used to this combo, they show up a lot. And yeah, I'm not used to doing post-action commentary here. But you have the benefit that you don't get to hear me jamming on my keyboard the entire time. So I do apologize, that was a massive mistake. I went through the whole thing and just didn't record a thing. So it looks like we still have access to the labyrinth. When I first came down here, though, I was thinking, oh, right, this is how you get to the tram, but it's not. It's the way to the labyrinth. So, yeah, my big worry about not being able to get back down here has been assuaged, as it will. And unfortunately, I can't use that machine because it requires ancient blood, which is super precious. Must have nodded off. My apologies. I don't think he has anything. Yeah, we didn't see what he has to say, but that's it. He's got like one of the worst stores in the game, and this is a constant theme of this particular episode, is me just trying to source wax. It is a terrible, terrible experience, and you're going to see why the basement was just not my best showing. But we do need to be down here because there is a witch down here that we need to give a letter to, and you know, we will have to make a choice whether or not to vaporize that witch or not. So yeah, the big thing about my outfit right now is that if I do get a poison effect, it will auto heal. And we've got another one of those swimmy dudes. So we're gonna get our fireball out. And we're about to learn a really terrible lesson. There's one. There's two. And there's three fireballs that did not hit. So I thought the fireball would actually travel the entire distance of the map. It didn't. And lesson right there. That thing will go right through you, and I will still with the fireball. So I wasted a good amount of our inventory here, just trying to get that combo done. I did do well health-wise, but yeah, that was terrible. You see, I'm gonna be trying to craft more, and you'll see the crisis I'm in. I only got 3 blue wax, and blue is probably the hardest one to come by down here. But you'll see eventually that I end up with a surplus of yellow and nothing else. Ooh, shotgun cartridge. I did forget that there was a mention of a shotgun, I think. I'm not sure, but we gotta go find that. And always check closets, because I hate that guy that jumps out. And oh, there it is. Broken shotgun. So we're gonna have to bring that to Rakesh and make a mental note. And here's that super big dude we saw before. But I don't think it's the same room. So I'm trying to remember where we saw this guy before. And sadly, Fireball is ineffective. Bullets are also ineffective. Try spears. Not super effective, but it did give him bleeding, so it was actually our best bet. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe I just noted how cursed we were, so I'm looking for that thing we got. That gives us a little bit damage but heals curse. I think I called it an apple or something. There it is. Warding fairy cake. I don't know why I would call it an apple, it looks terrible, but... And that is really good. That's a good way to get rid of curse. So now we're going to... I really don't remember. I think I should try spears again. I'm just looking for solutions because this guy sucks. And the one thing that I don't want to do... Oh, of course. When in doubt, acid. Yeah, what up? Okay. One more acid to do it. There we go. You see, I just got the poison stat. Oh, he blew up. And poison just got cured on its own. So that's something I'm wearing. I think it's an amulet. And one of the things is I didn't want to leave the room because I believe, based on previous experiences in the attic, that if you leave the room, they will heal. Because if you recall, one of those cage guys I had near to death, but he ran me out of the room. And when he came walking through the door, he was healed. And yeah, we just picked up an actually awesome melee sword with high stats. So there we go. 445 versus 9-11. That is huge. And look how fast that is. That's so good. And the only big downfall of this weapon is that it has durability. And we have a new guy here. Not super effective. And oh boy. Damages. That fire resistance is non-existent. We did not tailor ourselves to resist fire. It's been a while since we found initiates that threw fire. And yeah, the first priority is to get rid of the ceiling guy because it's super annoying. But I whiffed a bullet there. And we're gonna die. Okay, we're fine. And can't shoot anything without bullets in the chambers. So yeah, I have completely mismanaged this fight. Thankfully, I came prepared with a lot of healing, but definitely not... like I said, the basement has not been my best showing. And that is just too devastating. When in doubt, acid. And that seems to work very well. Just get rid of them. And breathe a little easy. Okay, I meant to search the body there, but it didn't happen. And what I just realized was that I actually equipped the knife earlier instead of the bayonet, which is what I wanted to be using, so that's probably why melee wasn't working as well as I wanted it to. And yeah, this is the thing about the way the flooded basement layout is. You have to go through these rooms in order to make it to the end. There's just no other way. You could probably book it. I don't think these things will follow you room to room, so if you don't want to fight, you could easily just go as fast as you can and load up on healing. So got another ceiling dude, and I really end up hating these guys. You see, it's the same combo. So we are running low on spells, so we need to be a little bit better at casting them. Right, we're gonna try the candle first, and nothing. The candle does not work at all. Terrible. I got lucky that that hit. I'm lucky that that got hit. He could have easily just went through me. Terrible. Super terrible experience. But yeah, the outfit that I'm wearing, or the setup that I have, is actually really good because I don't have to worry about getting poisoned. You don't take too much damage before it heals. I think it's once per minute. Going back to the crafting table. Oh, it's not safe. And it's not safe because of this guy. I forgot that was one hit. I'm pretty sure I laughed when I did that too. Now we can safely go look at stuff, but unfortunately we are out of blue wax. So here I'm just looking at what options remain. We don't have a lot of offensive options, unfortunately, just spears. So I think what we end up doing is just saying screw it, we'll save everything. Oh, we'll make him more acid for sure. Poison, don't really need that. We can definitely make more healing. Incendiary jars sound really great, but they use the ashes there, and this the curse jar used spectral remains. Those are really rare materials because you grab them from ghosts. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever be making any of those, not unless we find a really good source of ghosts. So let's just load up on healing. We're not gonna make that. That's very tempting, but yeah, we're gonna save our wax and just move on. Hopefully we don't run into any more big dudes. And before we get into the next room, we definitely want to reload our gun, because we have no idea what's coming up. But more than likely we're gonna see more of those annoying ceiling crawlers that I just they were really making this an unfun experience. There's one, and unfortunately we cannot shoot through that barrier, so I just wasted a bullet. And I'm guessing there's one in here too. Yep, there it is. So we're gonna try and time this so we can at least get a cheap shot in. There we go. And nope. The water lurking dude got in the way, unfortunately. And he ate one of our bullets. There we go. Now we can rely on spells. We're gonna try spears this time, because we have more of those. Also really effective. And unfortunately, I misfired and cast an extra one. So yeah, not managing our resources very well, but we did just pick up some blue wax, which is good. And you'll notice that even though I'm casting spears, they don't show up in the flooded basement. They stay underneath. Alright, the idol's representation of itself in the dream has several unique properties. For one, it can greatly amplify the effects of magical spells nearby. More importantly, it can restart an iteration afresh even once it is fully dormant and void of inhabitants. By submerging the idol in organ grease for a full day, the iteration it belongs to springs back to life. The mechanism by which this happens is not fully understood, but perhaps it can be tied back to the blood sacrifices that occurred on the night of the lunar moon a millennia ago. Unfortunately, this process is fraught with great danger. Any direct contact between the same person from two different iterations creates a great concentration of cursed energy. Most often, this results in a pair of ghosts. Ooh. So there is an implication that this is going to be something we need to deal with in the future, where I'm going to run into my future or past self. Not good. Always check your closets. We have Mr. Flame Dude. And another ceiling crawler. That's why I didn't attack right away. Let's just get rid of that one fast. Excellent. Oh crap, there's another one. Get out! Get out! Okay. Sometimes it's just best to retreat. And we're just gonna wait out the poison heal. So you can look at the health. I don't lose too much. And then there we go. It healed itself. Now this dick is just camping the hole. So it doesn't look like he's gonna go anywhere anytime soon, because you can probably see us, but you know, game mechanics, you can't attack through a wall. So we're just gonna head on over to the other side of the room just to make him non-aggro and walk away. And that sound usually means I'm pretty cursed. Unfortunately, we cannot light a candle, which was expected, but I had to check. So we're gonna go and eat another one of them fairy cakes. It's not a bad deal losing that much health, because yeah, we can just scone it up and we are free from curse rot, because curse rot, as we all know, is one of the worst things you can get in this game. Alright, now we can take care of the ceiling dude first. Excellent. Now we can safely engage the flamethrower dude, and we're going to try and see how fire works on him. 0 damage. Terrible, terrible idea. And we paid dearly for that experiment. And I'm gonna try bullets. Not really great, but when in doubt, acid. And now we just learned that acid can break their poise, which means we don't have to eat so much fire if we can get one of those off. You know, interrupt his attack, which is amazing. So in case there's any more of them in the rest of the mansion, we'll be better prepared. So now that I've got some blue wax, we're going to try and craft more stuff. Definitely load back up on fireballs. And then we're probably going to do these spears. Yeah, we did these spears. And unfortunately, like I said, we have a big surplus of yellow. We've got 11, but there is nothing really helpful for us in the offensive department. Could make healing spells, but like, we're doing okay. We've got a lot of healing materials, so yeah, if you're doing this, always make sure you are reloaded, because as you saw, when you're not prepared, you gotta waste a few seconds doing it while they take a bite into your butt. I mean, it sounds like we've got another flamethrower in there. Yep, there he is. Alright, I don't think there's anything else in here, so we are going to... I don't think we're going to experiment anymore. Yeah, we're going straight for the acid. That's right. That's right. Eat that. Oh, you tried to burn us. Sorry, man. When you find that a great cheese tactic is such a joy in any video game. And we found some more bloody thread. Unfortunately, we have no idea where Tomos is in this iteration of the house. And I'm beginning to suspect that we are never going back into the past. Whiffed. Nope. And we got 5 spells. We're gonna try and fight more intelligently this time. There we go. Try not to cast this in the middle of the charge. There we go. Gives us a much better chance to make sure that that attack hits. So we've made it. We've made it to the end, I believe. A lot of crafting breaks in here, I'm sorry. And you can see that I have really not gone after the whole armor spells things, because I take so much chipping damage anyways, so it's just a waste of time. Alrighty, we are at the end, and if I recall correctly, I'm worried about a big dude, and also there is a question mark in this room, so I missed something. There it is. Gunpowder. Alright, that should take care of all the question marks in the basement, so we have cleared it out entirely. Let's go see what's here. Oh. It looks like we are in the butcher's room, which means there should be a mirror. It's not there. Ooh, but we do have a witch. Oh, another messenger from the Wretch King. I'm not leaving. The poor creatures down here need me. They have sought refuge from the Wretch King in these fetid waters. He can't just erase everything from the dream that he doesn't like. I won't allow it. What's wrong with your face? I am a witch, and my name is Josette. Oh, you're a witch, aren't you? I can sense it. I know you must play the part of errand girl to gain his trust. Surely you can appreciate he is a wicked man. I see you have brought an eviction letter. Is this letter safe for me to open? We're going to decide to tell the truth. I knew there was a trick. Thank you for your honesty. I suppose he'll want proof of my demise. Ashes, right? The ashes of a witch, being slightly cursed, are not too dissimilar from spectral remains. Ghosts are pretty rare these days, but there are still a few up in the attic. Oh boy. The attic is a truly cursed place. Something horrible happened up there, but I'm not sure what. Bring me some spectral remains and I'll put the finishing touches on them to fool the Wretch King. Now, I'd like to reward you for not letting that letter vaporize me. Please have my rotted charm, which offers strong protection from poison. I use it often when traversing the Byzantine labyrinth beneath the mansion. But now I must tend to my flock here in the basement, and have little need of it. Alright, we do not have to go to the attic because we got plenty of spectral remains. I haven't been spending any of them, so... Brilliant. A moment. Here we go. Fake witch ashes. He'll be unable to tell the difference. I'm afraid I have little else to offer, but you will always have my thanks for my life. Excellent. Hello, Nightingale. It's always nice of you to visit. I'm afraid I have nothing else to offer you, but you're always welcome down here, of course. Perhaps you will come to enjoy the unique ambience of the basement as much as me. Yeah, I don't think so. This has been a terrible, terrible experience. But the bonus is we did get to avoid the attic, which I really am not keen on going to, given our experience last time. Now before we go, I do want to check to see what that charm does. The problem is I have no idea where to find it in our inventory. No, not here. I know this is what I'm looking for. It's not here either. Oh, there it is. There it is. So it gives us a 25% poison tolerance passively, which is really good just for having it in our inventory. And it is also permanently remembered. We still don't know what that hole in the wall is for. We have Philosophy Somnium 6. When people come into contact with their twins from the false star iterations, cursed energy is released. This fact points us towards a possible explanation of the curse. Cursed energy is most likely a distortion or hole in the fabric of the dream that connects these different iterations. This would explain why the odd sights encountered when cursed can always be found elsewhere in a different iteration. The bloody table, just an instrument tray from the infirmary. The skin body, just an ancient decoration from the Byzantine labyrinth. Ghosts, then, would be walking distortions, caught between two iterations but belonging fully to neither. A camera seems to resolve this discrepancy by forcing them to exist or not exist definitively. Interesting stuff. There's some really cool lore that we are learning each time we find books, which is really neat. And I think we do want to go take a detour to Mirrorland, see if we can examine the shop, see if Grumio has anything new to say. Our favorite Grumio. Grumio! Not sure why I took oh, right. I wanted to see if I wanted to remember the sword, but the durability is throwing me off for a little bit, so we're going to pass up remembering that for now. We'll see. Here we go. How can Grumio assist? Let's load up on wax. We'll just buy whatever we can. Yeah, unfortunately, like, I don't know why they're not selling the wax. I only have one blue, and yet I can't stock up. We're definitely going to take more acid, as much acid as we can, because that has been serving us very well. Not much in the way of accessories and clothing and stuff, sadly. Sorry for the deception. These are dangerous times, and I like to observe new customers before revealing myself. Grumio is just a puppet. Although I spend much time alone here, I sometimes talk to him. I am the last witch, and I still sound like this, I promise. The name is a bit grand, but if Samantha gets to be the first witch, why can't I be the last? You see, I was the last person to join the Sororal Order of the Initiated in 1910 before Moston Asylum shut. I've been hiding out here since the Wretch King decided to wipe out witches from the dream. My only customers these days are you and the odd member of the Merry Band. Merry Band? Most of the other witches followed Millie on some secret quest, something about finding the last idol before Robert does. Oops, always talking too much, silly skeleton. Anyway, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. I know it's supposed to be a girl, but I can't stop doing the voice. Let's check the store one last time. For no reason. We're just gonna load up on cake. Huzzah! Ooh, question for the last witch. Well, as I said, I was the last witch to be inducted as an initiate. How unfortunate. Now my body is in a coma somewhere in the real world. Good thing my parents are wealthy. They can pay to have a doctor around, I'm sure. I'd rise up against the Wretch King myself, but I never got all that good at magic. Shame. All the best grimoires were locked up or hidden by the time I became a witch. You know, you might search the attic. Oh no. That's where most of the witches were locked up. There's bound to be a grimoire up there. Oh no. It's almost beyond belief how quickly the house went downhill after Margaret fled. Oh, she left. Word somehow got around about girls falling into comas once they visited Moston House. Off went Margaret Blackett, and there was nobody to do any maintenance or upkeep on the house. The idol in the real world just watched as Moston House grew moldier and dustier, incorporating that decay into the dream. Thankfully, Moston House is seeing use again for those poor soldiers. If I ever get my hands on Margaret Blackett... Millie truly outclassed us all. But I wouldn't really call her a leader. She was a bit too mad to be a leader. She could be scary sometimes. Fits where she rocked back and forth, talking about the Night Mother. For a while, she had us working with Robert Blackett. There were all these tunnels under the ground, going to different iterations of the dream. We had steady work, riding these really modern cable cars back and forth, ferrying bodies and the undead. Never found out what Robert Blackett was doing with all of them. That didn't last long, though. Millie and Robert had some kind of falling out. Not too long ago, she took the rest of the witches to the last old iteration that's still running. I was to remain behind since I was the worst at spells. I never saw them again. The Wretch King declared absolute war on witches after they left. Shit. Unfortunately, that is it for Grumio. Did she tell us what her real name was? I forgot. Alright, to get to the next level, we need 9 grease. We can easily do that. We got plenty of body parts. But as a philosophy, always leave some behind. We never want to use all of our body parts. And 9. There we go. Take a level. I am tempted to always to do violence just because, you know, I want melee to be more effective, but it really isn't compared to spells. So I think the best thing for us to do is to just stock up on the weirdness. Yeah, because unfortunately we just put too much into the violence. Dexterity is also tempting because of the acid throwing and all that stuff, but it seems to be pretty effective without the boost, so we'll just keep loading up on spells. Level 23, and the next level needs 10, which I don't think we can do 10. Yeah, we are running solo on body parts because I've only farmed the basement here, so let's not do that. Okay, back to the real world. Sorry, little Grumio slipping in there. And I do want to change our outfit here. There we go. So I have been using these fashion records. We'll save the poison one. Oh, I don't switch. Oh, right, because I'm going straight back to the basement. And I had trouble finding it on this list. It's right there. And then once we get out of the basement, we'll change again into our regular setup. There you go, in the first book. And then what I wanted to confirm was that it saves our ring setup as well, because the poison setup absolutely required a different set of rings. And yeah, it looks like it saved our ring setup, so we are good. Yeah, I also changed amulets too. So there we go. We have a new remembrance fountain, and look at that. This is why we saved our body parts. So we can remember one more thing. I'm pretty sure what I'd do is put the sword in there. On the reasoning that if I die, the sword will repair itself, if we still have it. If we break it, obviously, it's not going to be very useful, but I still have my axe remembered, so handy dandy. Oh no, I don't. I don't save the sword, because what I discover by scrolling down is that our guard charm, or our guard relic artifact, there it is, the guard codex, is not a permanent remembrance, and we have been using it. I don't think it's punished us as much as it has rewarded us, because I don't think we've taken a lot of poise hits, so it is definitely worth remembering. So I think that's what I flag. Yeah, there we go. That's the smart one to remember. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. We have a poise of 20 something there. Don't really know what that means anyways. But we've been doing pretty well. And this looks like where we started. And we do have to come through here anyways. Because before we go looking for our grimoire in the attic, again, not looking forward to that, we do need to go and see the Wretch again. To complete the quest line here. That was the goal for going to the basement anyways. We got Mary. What are these? 30 seconds, 15 seconds. Well, these would be pretty nice in a pinch. Yeah, but no, see, if you look, they are 20 gold each. That is ridiculous. And I think, yeah, I came to that same conclusion. Sorry, there's a gap between recording and doing this voice over here. So yeah, I was like, no, $20, no way. No way. Not worth it. Not for like 15 cents. If it was something that could give me like a much bigger boost, but oh well. What's on your mind? I grew up in the valley. I always heard about Mostyn House and could see it on the hill. When the war started, and they were looking for staff here, I couldn't resist. For the first few days, I didn't understand why the house had such a reputation, but I discovered some odd things even before being pulled into the dream. Apparently there were some years ago actual witches in the dream using some sort of magic. I've seen them. They come crawling out of the cellar occasionally. And there's one in front of you. You'd think taking care of the undead would have inoculated me from fear, but you'd been wrong. Those witches are horrifying. The king says he's trying to eradicate all witches from the dream. After having seen one up close, I can only hope he does. Hello, my outfit? In the beginning, they were still human. A few months in, those who had died in the real world began rotting here in the dream. Poor lads, from one kind of hell to another. I can't bring myself to finish them off. Even if I did, they'd just be back the next night. So I do my best to ease their suffering. Sometimes they'll grab me and they'll look into my eyes. There is a glimmer, a faint glimmer of their former humanity still there, in the eyes. If you do enough odd jobs for the king, he'll leave you alone. He's presiding over a dying kingdom. I'm sure he told you about Dr. Robert Blackett and some paradise he's building. I did a little research. Nobody has seen this Dr. Blackett in the real world for over 10 years. While I have no doubt about this Blackett character might still be alive in the dream, he's likely to be a shambling undead, isn't he? Something tells me that the king is in for some disappointment when he reaches paradise. I did a terrible reading there, I'm sorry. Alright, we're off to see the wretch. We're off to see the wretch king. Oh, you're not gonna give me that time. Not that it matters. But it is annoying. And we are looking for the throne room, which is going to be 3 rooms away. 1, 2, and whoops. Alright, before we go in there, we need to get dressed appropriately because he does have a nurse fetish. There we go. It's okay if you're carrying a huge sword, but you know. Haha, wonderful! That loathsome witch was stinking up my basement. For your reward, I shall grant you a moderate amount of freedom. Behold, the Advanced Wretch Pass. With this, you can exit the back door of the mansion. I do have a final request of you. In the valley below the mansion, there is a pretender to the throne. A peasant has declared himself king and has several witches in his thrall. Let him pretend, but I do care about the witch he has shackled. One witch he has shackled. She is a creature of tremendous power and would be of great use to me. You'll find her chained up in the valley, although I suspect the false king won't make it easy. Open this wretch teleportation spell in front of her, and she'll be sent straight here. You'll be handsomely rewarded for your troubles. Alright. Are you dense? The order is quite simple. Head to the valley below the mansion. Find a chained up witch. Use the teleportation scroll I gave you. Simple. Alright, so our main quest is to get through that big yellow barrier that we saw behind the house. I think. In the direction of where the church is. But before we do that, we definitely want to go check out the attic for a grimoire. Because, you know, we are chasing down the path of spell casting, and another grimoire would definitely give us more options, even though there seems to be a very, very big shortage of wax in this iteration of the house. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, I am thinking that we are not going to be going back to the old house. Maybe we will. I prefer it for sure. Especially if I die, I can easily farm it. This one's a little bit tougher to work with. Upper west staircase. Ooh, look at that, a hole. And that's a mirror, which means that's a fight. No, we are definitely not getting into that this video. I'm just gonna clear out this little tower here, which should be safe. This is to the upper floor, that's where the first switch was. And we've got a little room here that goes into the attic proper. Right, now that we have a functional implementation of the farm, there is no longer any need for the copies of Boston House. Please see that the idols from each copy are taken to the tower. Afterward, destroy the cable cars and seal the tunnel entrances. Inform me immediately of any issues you encounter. Your friend Robert. So yeah, we are gonna call it here, and I hope my post recording hasn't been too bad. I did try to keep it as entertaining as I could, but when we come back, we are going to check out the attic and probably the upper floor before we actually get into the story proper behind the house. Although we do have the front door key, so we're going to try that as well. So yeah, next time I will definitely double check that my mic is not muted, so we can avoid doing this again. Unfortunately, it does double the work, so I won't be doing it in the future, hopefully. See you around. Bye.